Then I went again.
Well, he said
Spiritual dimension.
How precious and how unimportant it was. I became a family.
Everyone else was astonished.
Rabbi Yosef Weinberg traveled extensively on behalf of the Central Lubavitcher Yeshiva, where he served for over 60 years.
This was in the first years that the Rebbe was Rebbe. And I go into a trip to South Africa, and I tell the Rebbe I'm going to South Africa. The Rebbe says, are you stopping on the way for a day or two? I says, again, don't you stop on the way for a day or two? According to the schedule, we're not supposed. And I came home. I told my wife that if she don't get a telegram from me that I arrived safely, she shouldn't worry. Because the Rebbe asked me twice whether we do not stop for a day or two. I'm sure that we'll stop. I didn't know where, what. We came to Lisbon. I mentioned to the Rebbe all the places where we stop. We're going with Pan American direct. Direct means that you don't have to change planes, but yeah, the refueling in the Azores, in Lisbon, Dakar, Accra. We are traveling from Dakar to Uganda. 2 hours late. Was supposed to take 6 hours. 2 hours later, they wake us. What's the matter? Engine trouble. One of the engines completely out of order. They checked later, completely. But Baruch Hashem, we came down safely back in Dakar. It was in the middle of the night. The captain from the plane came out and he says, the pilot came out and says, we're in trouble. One engine is completely out of order. A special plane has to leave London with a new engine, and we install it and test it, then we can continue our journey. How long would it take? Not less than 48 hours. In the morning, early in the morning, they took us into a half-decent hotel, and being there, it was morning, I was taking a room together with Mr. Langer, and I davened. And right after davening, he says, I'm going out. Where are you going? You know French? I don't know French, but I eat. If we stopped here, the Rebbe asked me twice. So it must be something to. So I go down and I ask one and ask another one. Nobody knows. And finally, a Portuguese man, I asked him in Portuguese, "Está aqui judeus? Are there any Jews?" She points across the street. Aqui mesmo, Casa da Judea. Over there, just across the street, there's a store that belongs to a Jew. I leave him and go over. I see a young man, and it says the sign Politi. Says, are you Mr. Politi? Says, he's not the owner. The owner is his uncle. But he came from Lebanon, and his uncle is overseas, and he takes care of the store. Says, are there any other Yidden? Says, 4 families we know. Maybe there are more, but we don't know of them. I found later in the hotel that was staying was another Jewish. They didn't know of him, and he didn't know of them. And I said, can we arrange to meet with us? Yes, he'll arrange. He called the cousin. But most, I spoke for them, and he spoke a beautiful English. He translated into French. For the most of the time I spent together with Clement. Clement Politi is his name. Spent with him, and then one day comes out and says, Rabbi, he wants to ask me a personal question. What does one do in such a place? There's no Jewish girls, and he's single. The way he put the question, I was afraid that he's involved already in something. So I started explaining. He told me he comes from a very, very frum family, very beautiful family, and would, God forbid, if he marries out of faith, would be a tragedy. I didn't have to work hard. He just shook hands with me, gave me a promise. He will never marry out of faith. He'll go to France and look for Jewish. The plane was fixed in time. And before he took me to the airport, he said, Rabbi, you will never know what those 2 days meant for me. These are his words. I came and I wrote a letter to the Rebbe. They don't have anything, no Siddur, no how much they needed, also French translation. So our package went from the Rebbe's office with all these things. When it came to before Pesach, Rabbi Chadakov calls me and asks if I know how long it takes a mail package to reach Dakar. I said I could find out, but said the Rebbe is sending matzah. The Rebbe wants to send matzah for the people, know they should be there in time. Has to be by airmail. So a package went from the Rebbe's office. After Pesach, the Rebbe received a letter signed by Pinto and Politi that they made a collective seder with the matzahs of the Rebbe. And they explained to the children what it means to be a Yid. That the Rebbe in New York, and they knew already at that time that the Rebbe has something else to do. Finds time and effort to send a matzah, never ask him for anything, and before he sent tefillin and everything. The letter was written so emotional, the Rebbe sent out a letter to me. I had tears in my eyes when I read it.